Very much a pretty even maps pool for both of these teams, given their histories. As we head into Ilios to begin things, we will see RCK pull the Sombra out immediately. No McCree shenanigans here on Lighthouse, not this time. Just going to be that X factor that RCK is going to bring to the table here with this Sombra. Certainly winnable if they lose the first cap with the EMP retake, but he's going to have to build that ult charge. And so far, so good. 42-43.
Yeah, drop down here from the Boston Uprising. Going to be matching them on the low ground, but already the tank line to get so much damage, and Fusion's going to be the first casualty. And Closer comes up with the kill. Pushing their way forward, that's going to be the first cap coming through for Dallas.
The difference between, you know, a Sombra and a D.Va is always going to be sustained damage versus burst and the ability to hack, right? A D.Va's tankier, can peel, can displace enemies, but also is not really limited by ammo. So, you know, when that's the trade-off with the Sombra. You need to be doing that damage, and RCK has done so much more at the moment.
I mean, look at him, 74% for an EMP.
Tripling the damage of note at the moment.
Yeah, looking really great to start. Awkward positioning, though, for Dallas Fuel. They get pushed away from the point, but no one really coming in to try to get that cap. EMP going to be thrown down, catches everyone on the Boston Uprising. Fusions instantly gets dropped. RCK has to get himself out of there, but the cleanup is going to be there. Unkoe picking himself up a double kill.
Great individual play there by RCK. He's able to identify that he has the EMP ready, even though it's not showing right, because he's just going to get the last hits of that on his way down. Catches the members of the Uprising in a choke point during that moment, and ult efficiently shuts down a push, buying so much time and percentage here for the Dallas Fuel.
Yeah, the only thing that they had to use to win that fight. Now the reapproach coming in for Boston, again playing to the high ground, now dropping down. Unkoe in the back, still just taking pot shots of these left clicks. The rallies come out from both sides. Support ultimates coming online. Double for Boston Uprising. Closer a little bit further behind at the moment. Now inside track onto the point, but Fusion's again going to get picked off. And that's going to be the rest of the Fuel pushing forward to get the cleanup onto Boston on the point.
A lot of these hacks that you're seeing RCK attempt as well are going to be on to Color Hex. So when Color Hex is hacked, he can't use his protective bubble, his shield there, to protect the front line, who will be attacked and burned down even by RCK's Sombra. So that's one of the priority targets. And it's making a big difference here, as you can see. This is very tough for the Uprising to win, even though they have 5 ults. If it's a longer fight EMP.
Yeah, Gallic's just going to get ripped apart. Closer finding that killing blow. So much damage going forward. Can they even tag the point now is going to be the question. 95% rolling through. Graviton Surge going to be coming in. Transcendence is coming out from Unkoe. He's going to try to do it. Sound Barrier comes through. They get the remake for Note. He tries to stay alive. No, at the moment, just going to be getting that back cap. Has to stay on here, but Fusion's again going to be going down. EMP comes out, catching so many members of the Boston Uprising, including Aim God. Sliver of HP remaining for him. He manages to stay alive, but now Color Hex is going to get picked off as well. The flip might just come right back through in favor of the Fuel to close this out.
Yeah. Okay, RCK here, just looking for one more final hack.
Doing what he can, gets a hack onto Note. He'll get popped out. OT going to be taken away. They come in with a Wrecking Ball, tagging through, just trying to keep things rolling desperately to find a miraculous turnaround. But I don't think it's going to happen. Blase now going to be burned down. OT taken away again. Fusions will push forward, but does not stand a chance. And it seems like this first round, Lighthouse will go the way of Dallas Fuel.
Yeah, that last fight where we did see Note, you know, he basically used his self-destruct and ran onto the point and tried to remake there to get the tag. It's the correct move. It's the only way you're going to be able to get that overtime bar running. But at the same time, while you're doing so, Dallas is abusing the fact that you're out of position. They're trying to cut you off, preventing you from touching the point. And even though you do, you'll be immediately demacked afterwards. Your team is losing another 5v5 fight away from you. You don't have that extra protection. And all the while, more value for RCK. I mean, we talk about Sombra a lot, about her hacks, her EMPs. The trade-off is the lost D.Va. But when he's able to do so much more on the Sombra than Note can do on the D.Va, it's the right call. It's the right hero to pick.
Yeah, not playing around that Sombra, costing them dearly, but not going to be seeing it from RCK. Will be the D.Va as we move on to Well. Winston's out for both of these teams as they push their way forward onto the point. See if they can tie this up or if it's going to be a 2-0 for the Fuel. Jumpin's coming through. Fusion's playing forward, just zapping away at RCK. Takes him low. Below half, but so far, it's just tickling coming out from both squads. No real hard commitment. As I say that, though, OG tries to go into the back, gonna get stunned up and taken down, but Kelix and Aim God have both been picked off just beforehand. So instantly, no supports available for the Boston Uprising. And with Note popped out, that should just be the flip coming through, you would expect. But no, actually, Boston's gonna get the first cap. push their way in as Dallas Fuel is chasing forward to try to get that baby diva.
Losing the Winston is such a big problem, and OG going down there gave them that huge advantage.
Playing around the corner. Dallas full in onto the point. Now start working their way back. OG looking for the stop. Oh no, into the pit. Fusions gets booped, and he doesn't have the leap available. Just used it to try to get on top of the back line of Dallas Fuel. Gets punished for that by Closer. Now the flip getting ready to come through. Boston Uprising guiding their way back to safety as best as possible, but Kellex will be a casualty. The flip will be there. 29% gain for Boston.
In comparing ults between these two teams, the big thing you're going to notice too is Dallas earned more. They have Closer with the sound barrier versus Kellex 40% up right now, and there is, of course, that looming Transcendence here. Grav faster for Color Hex here, but because they have their own Transcendence, it won't matter too much that Color Hex is holding that, especially because he's going to have lower energy on the attack.
Yeah, I can see the ults here at the top of your screen. Dallas Fuel sitting pretty with multiple. Now Aim God going to be taken down. Color Hex doing what he can. Zapping away. Almost gets rid of AKM. Moves around the side. The right click's going to be good. Does manage to find him. Could be a decent opening for Boston. Get a fast flip coming back through. Grab going to be thrown down, but no. RCK denies that one with the D-Matrix. Gets rid of it. Nope. Goes back into the Mac. Kellex gets the poop off onto Zachary. So still looking good for Boston to try to get this flip, but Dallas Fuel are doing a good job of delaying it and gaining as much percentage as humanly possible. Fusion's back up into the front. Transcendence going to be out from Unkoe, keeping his squad alive as they just desperately try to hold this for as long as they can. Now the grab's going to be coming through. Transcendence instantly in from Aim God. Bomb up over the top, and RCK's going to get a double. Fusions and Blase both taken down. The cleanups there, and Dallas Fuel do not surrender the point. They maintain control.
So help set up by Zachary. Nicely done. And these are the big bombs. Those are the ways you can win the fights. Despite the Transcendence, it's the burst damage that comes out from self-destruct that will win out over the healing that's coming out from a Zenyatta. RCK is playing the game of his life right now on two different heroes. First the Sombra, now the Diva, absorbing that last Graviton from Color X as well. He's kind of doing a little bit of everything here.
Yep. Man of many talents, it would seem. A lot of damage there on the Fusions as he kind of botches the leap up onto the high ground. Takes so many left-click shots right to the dome. AKM going to be taking down RCK. So again, going to be denying another one away from Color Hex, taking out that Team Matrix, but Fusion still managed to find Unkoe. The advantage will be there for Boston, so they grind away at it. They manage to get the flip just before the OT will come through. 33% though to the 94 of Dallas Fuel. They have to hold this.
But it's, yeah, and it's not comfortable where they're going to be holding from here against Unkoe's Transcendence, nearly ready. And also the Primal Rage. Fusions will have his own, so there will be a duel there, but it is going to be more sustainability that Dallas Fuel have on their side with Unkoe's Transcendence versus Aim God's only 60%. The longer fight definitely goes the way of Dallas Fuel, so getting a pick or knocking someone into the pit with Fusion's Primal is their best bet of holding this and bringing us to a third round.
Yep, jump into the back. Sorry, a bubble coming through for OG to try to keep him alive. He's also has that Primal Rage, which he will pop now. Trying to get some knockoffs. Nearly goes into the pit himself, but shorter cooldown on the leap, so means he'll be okay. Unkoe's going to pop the Transcendence. Note right now, spamming away. But has to respect AKM. So much damage with that Zarya. So he's just in an awkward position trying to play around this corner. But now that they find the pick on the Unkoe, that's going to give them a bit more leverage. And now it's starting to look like Boston Uprising might just be able to get this victory. There's only going to be a sound barrier up for Dallas Fuel.
The advantages they had were wasted. The better timed Primal Rage definitely was Fusion's. And Unkoe had to trance in that fight. It still didn't save them, so it's a double whammy against them because now they don't have it for Color Hex's next grab. They've been eaten multiple times in a row by RCK. If the third time's the charm, that's what they're hoping for.
Yeah. Even then, will be enough. Grab thrown in from AKM. Doesn't really lock anybody up. Color Hex now going to be pushed into it. The sound barrier, though, comes just in time to keep him alive. The spotting grab comes out. Not going to find anybody with the bombs. But OG still going to be taken down. Aim God finding the kill. AKM now taken out as well. 99% here for the Boston Uprising. It seems like they're going to be able to make this 100 as they just try to pop RCK out of that mech, get rid of that pesky Diva. They'll delay for a little bit longer. Blase going to be taken down. But RCK has been finished off, and now it's really all on Closer to try to keep this one extended, but goes to the other side of the wall. The OT plummets a bit faster than he was prepared for, and Boston tie up Ilios.
Fusion's 34 seconds faster, the ult builder in the Winston v Winston, and also was able to Primal Rage at the better timing in that crucial fight where they were down on ultimates, forcing out Unkoe's Transcendence early. And even though Color Hex's grabs were absorbed multiple times back to back, the one that mattered there at the end did go off right outside of him escaping from the ensuing grab from AKM. And they were able to turn that fight with that small advantage there. RCK goes back to the Sombra, which worked better on Lighthouse here. It's a very strong map for Sombra. There's a lot of health packs you can hack, but more importantly, she has a lot of mobility because of the wide open spaces. Much harder to track and find where she is, so it's really easy to harass the backline on this particular map of Ilios Ruins.
Several more avenues of approach, as you're saying.
As you can see here, look at how much she can do.
Trying to get the hack on a Fusions. Does manage to find it. Rest of Dallas pushing forward, looking for the kills. The support line taking a lot of damage. Ooh, almost goes off the side of the map, but it's okay. He's got a translocator. Just zips his way back. Manages to stay safe. Kellick's in the back line taking a lot of damage. Just playing around the pillars, trying to keep his team topped up. Point now going to be unlocked. OG, the first one taken down as AimGod finds the kill. That's going to be another first cap for Boston.
Yeah, and this is a really rough spot for the Fuel now. RCK didn't build the EMP charge that he had on Lighthouse to be able to win the first fight off of a quick EMP. Or second fight, I should say.
Yeah, 20% short.
Yeah, and that's a big problem because that's your whole composition is built around this, and if he's not doing enough damage, you can't use it.
Well, he starts things with a back cap, alleviates that frontline pressure for his squad, allows them to move up closer to the point now. Boston, however, still with a very nice position. Just trying to deny away this chip damage. You can see Note still dangerously low in the Mac. Shots coming through. Fusion's going to be taken down. AimGod was hacked. Could not use the Transcendence to try to keep him alive. And now Note's going to lose out on the Mac. So very efficient here for the Dallas Fuel. Not having to invest any ultimates on this approach. They're about to have 6 ready to go.
Yeah, it's the big 6 as we call it here as soon as Closer gets that last 25. And the thing is, the scariest 6 ultimates are ones that have an EMP attached to them because you can win a fight against multiple ultimates with just one with that EMP. So Dallas Fuel having this huge advantage right now, not only positionally, but with these ults. There's no way to track RCK. He's cloaked and on the high ground, so you just don't know which angle he's going to come from. Here it comes.
Yep, drops it in. That's all 6 members of the Boston Uprising caught. It's the only ultimate they will have to use as well as they get the team wipe.
That's just such a disaster, too. You have 2 support ultimates. Those are the answers to the Sombra. And sometimes on a map like Escort or Hybrid, when you're in the streets phase, you can track down the Sombra or you can position around a corner with your supports. On this map, not so much. You have to stick with your squad or you're going to get picked off. And you don't know where RCK is, so he's able to get so much out of just a single EMP.
AimGod going to be hacked again. They're dumping in onto him. They managed to find the kill. Now the grab comes through. Locks up a few extra members. So again, it's just one ult at a time by the Fuel, denying Boston Uprising from even getting close to the point.
And this is ult efficiency, you know, in a nutshell right here.
Yep, 101 lesson starts now.
Exactly, and now they can maintain this high ground once again. RCK is going to have a bit of trouble building EMP charge right now because the Uprising are not exposed. But if he can build another one, they're almost guaranteed to win this first map.
Unless AimGod and Kellogg's can supremely outplay him. Grab going to be coming through, locks him up. Unkoe's there, has the Transcendence ready. Shatter is good, but Note finds 2. OG and Closer both taken down. RCK manages to answer one back there on to Blase, but Note will finish him off. Now Boston Uprising make their way over to the point, just have a few more members to clean up. Zachary, sliver of HP will be taken down by the Fire Strike. They'll get this flip coming through. Unkoe just going for a couple second delay. Gets popped way up in the air for his Zenyatta.
Now remember what I was saying earlier about the support ultimates. Uprising holds both of them, and they will be the answer to this EMP. There's no grab online, and there won't really necessarily be time for one, depending on how this fight goes. So the supports, they have positional advantage for the first time in a long time against RCK, so they need to make sure they do not get caught by that EMP. If either of them escape the EMP, they should be able to turn the fight. That's going to be one of 2 fights they'll have to win. But if they're both caught, Dallas wins the map, so it is absolutely essential that they do not get stuck.
Well, already turning into a bit of a nail-biter. RCK gonna get spotted out, throws down the EMP, barely makes it out of there alive, but the Transcendence is in from AimGod. Keeps himself safe. Fusions, however, still gonna be dead. There's not enough healing to keep him alive. The flip getting ready to come through for the Dallas Fuel. All 6 members here onto the point. Flip is gonna be there. Boston nearly tying them in percentage, but lose control, have to kite way back. They have one more chance to flip this. Rallies out from Blase, they're pushing forward, grabs online from AKM. He could shut this down, pins him in onto the wall as they look for the kills. Fusions and Blase both going to be taken down. Now the sound barrier out to seal the deal. Shatter comes down, locks up 2. They try to get that flip in the back line, but they cannot do so. And the Dallas Fuel, as they clean up Kellick's, will be able to take Ilios with a 2-1.
Very well played by AKM. He knows that Note has to tag the point. You see that in his first-person view. D.Va is boosting one way. You know there's no way your grab's going to get absorbed because the D.Va has already passed through. Drop down the Graviton Surge, win the 6v5, then collapse back on Note. Great individual play by AKM, wins them the map.
Let's give him a nice little encouraging, chin rub right there.
Yeah.
But good start for the Dallas Fuel. Boston Uprising putting up a fight. Let's see if they can tie it up when we come back from the break.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Make some noise and welcome to the stage. Give it up for the boys from Texas. It's the Dallas Fuel.
Be a better transcendence, but effect! There we go, buddy. There we go.
We can get the self-destruct with two.
And the winner 1v1. Now the shield get. Oh, he comes in. He picks apart some over people on this side.
And there you go. Next stage, taking the show on the road for the first time. A bit of a sneak peek for 2020. I guess you could consider it, Wolf.
Yeah.
As we travel for the first time with the Overwatch League.
I guess you could say the vision of Overwatch League is now clear. It's 2020, moving into home and away games.
Oh, boy. Well, April 27th, 28th. Make sure you mark your calendars, get your tickets if you are in the Dallas area or if you want to travel to the Dallas area, because it seems like that's not going to be a time that you want to miss, because right now Dallas look great. If they can carry this forward into stage 2, let alone the rest of the series.
I mean, they would jump up to Toronto, right, with a 4-0.
Yeah.
And that would put them tied with the third-place All-Korean roster. And, people were saying at the beginning of stage 1, like, I don't know if they're going to be able to carry the momentum from stage 4 of the inaugural season, but here we are, and the back-to-back wins to Shanghai really buffed up their stats, but they are on a streak here. They are on a tear, and this Kings Row map that we're headed to is one step closer. It's also a great map for Sombra, Achilleos, and this is where RCK has been shining over his diva play, despite some small, big plays like absorbing Graviton Surges on Well. It was the 2 rounds of Sombra play that brought Dallas Fuel that first map victory.
Yep. So it seems like that's still something that Boston are trying to adapt and play around, this Sombra. Fuel kicking things off on the defense. Boston on the attack. Putting up a fight there on Ilios, not going down. But can they tie things up, make this an actual series? Because, again, must win for Boston if they want a chance at playoffs. RCK in the back, already going for the Hacks. Manages to find Color Hex. No one punishing him, though. The rest of the front line, Fusions and Note taking a bit of a beating.
Yep, they're on the point here, actually. In fact, that Hack didn't do enough.
No, it did not. First hit going to be gained, ultimately for free, but now Note going to be popped out, so Dallas Fuel can re-aggress and push forward to the choke. Calyx going to be booped off way to the side, isolated and finished off.
There's so many different things a Sombra can do. Hacking the enemy Zarya means you're preventing bubble usage, so you're probably trying to focus down a tank, somebody that the Zarya would save. You can harass the Diva. That's usually just free ult charge because Diva's a big target, can't really defend herself, so you get faster EMPs. Or you could try to kill the supports in the back line. He went for the Zarya, did help burn down Note in the end.
RCK nearly with the EMP.
Here it
Take
is.
their way up, throws it in, catches all 6 again. Takes them down. AKM gets himself a double kill. Aim God only able to find the enemy Sombra, but it is just paving the way for AKM to shine right now on this Zarya.
So unfortunate, he had the Transcendence available, but was caught in the EMP. Didn't expect it to come out that quickly. The Transcendence may have bought them enough time to heal through the damage there after the hack came down, but it didn't work out because he was caught. Now the Fuel have a lot more ultimates they're going to have to go through. He's going to have the Transcendence for the Graviton Surge at least. We could give him that one.
Yeah, Unkoe going to be looking to match that. Closer taking a little bit. Rally's going to be coming out. Fusion's taking down the Transcendence. Not enough to keep him alive, and now it's just going to be a bot ultimate here from the supports in favor of the Dallas Fuel.
It's actually a really nice advantage for them to have, too.
Yeah.
Because now when you look at the 2 Zarya ults here, not only, by the way, does AKM have more energy, but when you look at the 2 Zarya ults, one's bigger than the other because Unkoe's got a trance.
They're trying to
And
spot him.
God does not.
He's just pushing forward. Oh, man. Right out in front, locking him up. And it is it's a slaughter. No chance.
It's important to be proactive in this moment where you have high energy because that's when you're going to get the most value. As note will be staggered. But the other thing about this, too, is because Dallas Fuel does not have a diva.
The tactical crouches.
Because Dallas Fuel does not have a diva, it means that ColorX can place his grab how he wants it. So as this non-diva team, you want to be able to put yours first and dictate the pace of that fight. And that's exactly what the Fuel did there. Very proactive. Nice hide there by AKM.
Yep, now another EMP available for RCK. So Dire Straits at the moment. EMP is going to be coming through. Does not catch Kellic, so still manages to use the sound barrier, but it's again too late to keep Fusions alive. Dallas Fuel identifying that he is the shot caller. He is the voice of this squad. He is the one motivating them and just attacking him relentlessly.
Yeah, they're isolating him and killing him oftentimes.
Well, let's see. The Zarya did it. Can OG do it? Never mind. He's giving up.
When RCK is getting these hacks onto Color Hex, it means he can't protect Fusions, and that means that Fusions can be easily killed and isolated alone in the front. And that's what RCK is doing a lot of these hacks for. This time hits Note.
Interesting self-destruct that we just saw from Note. Not sure quite what was going on there. Fusions again getting beaten and battered in the front line. Grab's going to be coming through from both sides, locking them up. Sound barriers in for the Fuel, however, as they try to stay alive. Shatter going to be coming in. OG locking up Color Hex in the back, but unable to find the kill. This could be the opening for the Boston Uprising as they work their way over onto the point, but the EMP is getting ready to come online.
Ready.
RCK now has it ready to roll.
There's no support.
Second tick going to be grabbed, dumps it in, catches all 6 of them again. Even if they had a support ultimate to throw out, it would not matter. Back and forth, however, Dallas Fuel are suffering the heavier losses. They will be able to get this cap in the end. It's so good. Great turnaround by the Boston Uprising.
Had they been able to keep AKM topped up, he would have been able to burn through everyone's health bars there because of the hack, but he was unfortunately too low to really get in the position to do that. They are going to keep RCK on the server. This is not going to be exclusively a defense tactic, or an A defense tactic, I should say, because it's very viable throughout the Streets phase. It's much easier through the Streets phase to identify where Sombra is, though. There's less chokes, as you can see here. Color Hex is going to interrupt the hack.
Yeah, everyone pushing forward, looking for him, but the bubble comes in. They missed the pin, so he actually makes it out alive. No chance at a stagger there. Reaction keeping himself ready to roll, because does have that grab. Slams it down, locking him up. Unkoe, Transcendence is out, but Closer still just takes so much damage. It burned right through him. Pin comes in, Fusions will be taken down. Now Unkoe going to be eliminated. Answering grab comes through, AKM trying to lock him up. Shatter comes in. Transcendence is out, however, Aim God just keeping them all topped up, but now the EMP comes in on the back end as they look to turn the fight around. Note here onto the cart, trying to get in behind OG to take him down, but will get popped out. And that will be the cleanup, and Dallas Fuel, they gain control of this cart.
Yeah, big play by OG. Very clutch in this moment, and that is a huge turnaround here. You can see Color X gets to throw his grab at distance because there's no enemy diva, so there's no potential for D-Matrix, but the Fuel still turn the fight around. Well-timed Transcendence from Unkoe as well on top of it all. They are down on ultimates now, and there is no EMP. So this is the moment where Boston Uprising needs to get a really solid push.
Well, bomb thrown way deep into the back. His Note looks for a pick and actually manages to find AKM. I guess Bubble not available, so deny him away, and now that's going to allow Color Hex to surge forward and build up that Graviton surge. Shatter going to be coming out. Fusions. We saw OG over on the left-hand side. Knows that there's no one to protect the rest of the Fuel squad. Drops the hammer, and that's going to be the push to B.
This is exactly what Uprising needed. They had a really weak time bank, but during this one moment where they had massive ult advantages, they commit to the fight. They toss in Note self-destruct, get that pick onto AKM. You see the Fusion's ult committed there as well. They just needed to get that time bank bumped up here, and they didn't use that many ultimates. So now we're pretty even in terms of ult economy here, and Boston Uprising still has the cart rolling with a potential finishing time bank.
Trying to hold him here at the corner. Color Hex lobbing off shots, still high energy. Spots out RCK's trying to finish him off. He barely makes it out of there with a sliver of HP. Forces him back before he can continue to build up that EMP. Rallies out from Zachary. OG manages to find Fusion. Color Hex just trying to work his way back to keep himself alive, but there's too much of a chase coming through from the Fuel, so they will gain control. And now the ult economy for Fuel is looking fantastic.
Yeah, this is when the pendulum swings back the other way with RCK doing all that damage and surviving, crazily enough there, when he was at about 70%. Now AimGod and Kelix, they're going to be exposed again, just like on Ilios, for these support ults here. When the EMP comes down, they have to hang back, but that makes them vulnerable. He's looking for him.
Oh, detected, drops in, throws down that EMP, but AimGod has the Transcendence ready to go. So not going to get caught unawares, but the Shatter comes in, the grab locks him up. Sound barrier from Kelix, perfectly timed. They might be able to turn it around. Answering grab comes through, Color Hex locking him up, but still no one going down. Unkoe with the Transcendence, he manages to keep everybody topped up. It's a back and forth brawl here on the cart. Dallas Fuel trying to make their way back around the corner as OG falls down below half HP.
What a huge play from Kelix. Incredible timing on that sound barrier. They absolutely needed it.
The bottom of the back manages to find Zachary. It's going to be an exchange to the Briggs with a pin from Fusions. Breaks down OG, and now the cart will continue to roll. 13 seconds remaining. Boston Uprising might be able to make this push in OT.
Looks pretty likely, as long as they can keep these members stuck in the spawn. EMP not going to be built until they get a longer fight. They're going to have to buy time.
Somebody's going to have to go tag this thing. OG will make his way over here. Shatter going to be online. Fusion's now hacked out. Note nearly going off the side there, which is his way back up, but the mech is not going to last very long. Swings coming out. OG waiting for an opportunity. The grab comes in. Fusion's pushing forward. He'll get taken down, but they manage to find Zachary. Now the Shatter comes out. Color Hex going to be locked up. The Transcendence coming in from deep. AimGod moves in, tries to keep them all topped up. Now Unkoe going to be there as well with the Transcendence. Notes popped out. Should be finished off. Will be. OT going to be taken away as Kelix just tries to keep things going, but the OT bar plummets as they finish off the Lucio. The Dallas Fuel will have a successful defense here on Kings Row.
Absolutely phenomenal performance, though, from the Boston Uprising supports. Back-to-back Trance counters the EMP. It's the barrier that comes in time for the grab. It's not enough in the end, but it was very close.
That was a nail-biter. Let's see how Fuel manage on their attack when we come back. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Fuel. Fairly successful defense there. Able to deny the finish on Kings Row for the Boston Uprising, but they still made it just about as far as you could go without actually completing it and getting that third point.
Kings Row, anything can happen, though. I think that's why a lot of this, some of the OG teams in competitive Overwatch really liked it, because despite a great push like what we just saw from the Uprising, sometimes you just, you know, you can get full held. Like anything can happen. It's super skill based, and in this meta, the ult economy is more important than it's ever been before. So winning this first fight is absolutely huge. It's going to set expectations for how far the fuel can go.
Yeah, it's historically been one of the most balanced maps, whether you're attacking or defending first. It was always about a 50-50.
Yeah.
So definitely anyone's game at the moment. OG trying to push his way back. It's a nice fire strike in to finally build up some charge here for that Earth Shatter.
Okay, swinging around here now. RCK hasn't been able to do much yet with this Sombra. He's trying to find an angle, trying to find an opening on the support line.
Well, Hack does come through. He's in the back, but instantly has to jump out of there. Still not going to lead them much, but as to the back angle there on the Fusions, takes him down, but AKM is a casualty for the Dallas Fuel. They still make their way over onto the point. But Aim God drags it back into their favor by picking off Unkoe.
The Diva in this case is just so much more sustainable and so much more able to basically make a big impact in these fights before the EMP is ready. So before that EMP comes online, the fact that Note survives there gives them so much more value. The next fight where the EMP is finished and ready for RCK is when things get a little bit more doable here for the Dallas Fuel. They can actually cap this.
Wrap around the back. Hard flank coming through for the Boston Uprising. Fusion's not really sure which way to look because he's getting hacked from the other side. RCK jumps back, does have the EMP ready to roll. Locking him up right now. Graviton surges out from Color Hex, but the hack comes in, manages to find 5. And Fusions will be taken down as the Shatter gets dropped in by OG. That should be the cleanup. That should be the cap.
I think we have to start thinking about...
Look at all the melee kills.
I mean, Achilles here, I think we need to start thinking about touting potentially Dallas Fuel as the best Sombra team right now, because this is not the first series where they've really showcased Sombra's skill and good team fighting around Sombra. But I mean, I'm talking about, we saw Grav come down, everyone's trapped, the EMP comes in after they know Aim God's already used the Transcendence. It's just one step after another, all pre-coordinated, all so reactionary on the side of the Fuel, and RCK is leading the charge. You know, they didn't do much before the EMP was ready, but how they set that fight up around the EMP was very well coordinated.
Grav going to be coming in instantly as they round the corner. Bombs out. Note throwing his into the back. Looking for a pick. Not going to find anything in the kills are there. AKM picking up another double, now a triple as Color Hicks gets taken down. Note's going to be melted down. This will be a team wipe completed by the Fuel.
And this is a nightmare for the Uprising, because this is just fights after fights like this that keep leading into AKM Grav. So he has 2 back-to-back now. He's looking to build his 3rd. He's going so far out here because he's high on energy, 80 energy, and he's just chunking these members down with his poke and building up Grav. 100 energy, and now, you know, the cart's rolling for free as Uprising have a long way to run back, and he's just getting more charge. And this is a problem that begets a problem for the Uprising. They're going to need to have a good fight here with their support ults, but Dallas Fuel is matching them, and the EMP is ready.
Yep, now going to be online. AKM still with his high energy will be able to build up that Grav very quickly. RCK coming in behind, drops in, throws it down. Aim God doesn't have the Transcendence online yet, now gets it with a couple of hits, but Fusions again is already taken out. It's always just a little bit too late to try to keep him alive as they just continually attack the front line of Boston.
And this is, in a lot of ways, it's very difficult to track where a Sombra is, as we've been saying, especially on this map. Easier through this section, but in a lot of ways, this is on Kelix here. Had he been positioned better, had his communication between he and Aim God about ult charge been a little bit more on point, perhaps he would have been the one who avoided the EMP and would have the ensuing sound barrier. Doesn't work out that way. Fusions is dead, and suddenly the cart's rolling around the corner.
Yeah, Fusions again going lower and lower. It's going to be the Grav thrown in by AKM, locking him up. The shield's going to be expiring on the side of Boston as they try to stay alive. Answering Grav comes in. Unkoe's there. Has a Transcendence. The Shatter out from OG is absolutely massive. They chase forward. They manage to get Color Hex. Answering Shatter is in, but they only get Zachary for their troubles. The investment does not lead to many kills here for the Boston Uprising, and the cart will continue to roll. Not very far to go with 3:45 in the clock.
Now this is where it's going to get a little bit tougher for the Fuel, though, because Aim God's about to have his Transcendence, and RCK is going to need some time to build an EMP. The only way they get this rolling through right now is a really big grab somehow, or forcing out a Transcendence early. So it's going to take a little bit more time before they can roll this one in.
Yeah, unless you can hack him and pick him, but highly unlikely to see that happen. Bomb coming down. Not going to get anything. Color Hex going to be picked off. Disconnected with his squad. AKM now builds up the Grab, slams it down instantly. High energy through for him. Transcendence out from Aim God. Does keep them alive, but Fusion's continuously under fire. It's lower and lower in the back line, nearly getting taken down. You can see RCK going all the way into the middle of the team fight to try to clears one up. The Color X. Oh, where did this come from? He swaps off over onto the Widow, instantly picks up a double.
He knows this is his best shot of defending because he's low energy after his previous death. He's going to swap back to Zarya for sure, but that was a nice little swap there. I love how Dallas Fuel played around, though, that last fight. We're going to take a look at Color X popping off here again, I think. But anyways, they played around the Transcendence usage there.
Wow.
To counteract what we just saw from AKM. AKM's grab comes through, Aim God trances, but during the fight, instead of trying to win the map, RCK builds an EMP. Now he's got the EMP, and Kellex better not get caught this time, or this map is over.
Yeah, Aim God as well, nearly with the Transcendence ready to roll. If he gets picked off instantly, because that EMP taking away his shields, that is goodbye, good night for Kings Row and Boston. EMP going to be thrown down, catches both supports again, the Shatter comes down, Ochi finds another fat one. They'll clean him up. No chance whatsoever. And that will just be it with 2 minutes plus remaining in the time bank. Dallas Fuel move up 2-0 in the series.
Steamrolling them here. This is starting to feel like we might be seeing them tying up there with Toronto. RCK playing great Sombra tonight. And unfortunately, on the side of the Uprising, the supports were not where they needed to be to shut down that so important ultimate.
Absolutely huge 2-0 lead. Dallas now at match point. Let's see if they can close it out when we come back after halftime.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered.
How was grape?
How was what?
How was grape?
Dude, he ate 2 grams. Did it taste good?
Tastes good? Tastes good?
Tastes good?
Yes, yes. Let's go, boys.
All right, now you're playing Sombra, so eat some more. You guys like eating grabs out there? Yeah? Any hungry divas in the audience? What's up, everybody? Welcome back into the Blizzard Arena. It's Puckett, we've got Zoe, we've got Bren, and we just saw a show being put on by a young Finnish man. Bren's going to talk a lot about RCK in just a bit. But first, Zoe, we got to jump in here and talk about why we saw Dallas Field jump out to a 2-0 lead. It all started on that control map, and we saw the two teams sort of in different compositions.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest focus on map number 1 were definitely the supports. Closer really put in so much work on Ilias for his team.
It's a Lucio, guys.
It's a Lucio, and he was leading the charge with the most final blows overall in that match as a Lucio. So let's just take a few moments and appreciate that. 3 of his first kills were on fusions, so that's a good one to open it up with. And overall, he managed to end the first map with Wait, I wrote it down again. Yeah, 23-1 KD. That's pretty darn good. Again,
Ridiculous.
super deadly. I was talking about Unkoe going into this as a deadly support, but Close already was just as deadly. Now we're taking a look at the numbers we have. He only died once, which is already insane. His player knocked back 53. That's such an insane high number.
Yep.
And as we said, the final blows were definitely off the charts for Closer. So that's about as deadly as you can
And
get on a
his
Lucio.
team doesn't have a diva in the game, and he doesn't seem to need to heal.
No, he
as
just
long as
doesn't need
everyone's
it.
constantly
It's
dead. One of those things we saw, though, was that Fusion, the main tank for the Boston Uprising, you saw it before the match. He's the shot caller. Everybody knows that. And Dallas definitely took note of it. They've been looking for him at the start of every fight, Brent.
I think if you're Dallas Fuel right now, if you're the coaching staff, you can give yourselves a round of applause, honestly.
Little pat
because
on the back?
Yeah, a little pat on the back, because they've read perfectly what they need to do against Boston in this match. I brought it up in the pre-show. I'm going to keep coming back to that, that same point. RCK Sombra, that was the key to victory for them. And we saw it both on Ilios and on King's Row. This guy was playing it to a T. Incredible performance by him, considering that he was normally a diva main. He didn't have a great performance at the start of the league, but opening up now, it is one of his heroes that he's best at alongside his diva. He can switch in and out between them. And it absolutely dismantled Boston. And it comes into that strategy, like you mentioned as well, Puckett. It's a focusing down of Fusions. They know that Fusions is the main caller. They're disabling him. They're hacking him. They're essentially taking him out of the match constantly with whatever opportunities they can get. So I really like this by the Dallas Fuel. I like what they're showing them. I like the fact that they're reading into what Boston...
It's a throwback slam for anyone who missed our previous match.
Just
Gets
because
the whole
Fisher is
nod.
that great.
Yeah. But
every now
he
and
snuck
then.
his way
Let's
in.
look at some of these numbers. We were going on and on about how good guard was in the previous match. 109 enemies hacked coming in from RCK so far in just this first two games. Ridiculous.
6 seconds times 109, Puckett, go.
I can't do it.
Okay, neither can I.
Never
but
gonna
it's
try.
It's a lot of
A
time
lot
being
of them.
hacked.
Yeah.
It is a lot of time being hacked.
654 took me a while. We got there, guys. Disney XD is over, but we're still educating the youngsters here at the Overwatch League. Guys, we got a second half coming up, and of course, Boston is still not out of this. They need to definitely win out the next 3 games. Can they get back in it? Can you shut down RCK at this point?
I mean, you can. The issue you have when there is a Sombra, and a good Sombra for that matter, is just you need to readjust the way you position yourself. It is on the supports to now stay away from the rest of the group a little bit more so they don't get caught in that EMP, so they have the Transcendence. And AimGod had a good attempt of that on King's Row. There were a few moments where they actually were able to play around that Sombra, so we need to see more of that. But it is hard because they are playing the 3-3 composition, and that usually requires your team to stay together. And that is what makes the Sombra so disruptive to that.
So I have to ask you, Brent, Dallas Fuel, you win one more game. You are going to your second stage playoff in a row. Do they win all 4, though?
Oh, what a question, Puckett. I mean, do they win all 4? It's going to be tough for them. Boston are a good team. Again, I like to talk about the coaching staff a lot. These are kind of the unsung heroes. I know for a fact that Boston have a very strong coaching staff. They're going to be giving them a stern talking to, what they need to do coming forwards. I don't think it's going to be easy for Dallas Fuel in the slightest, but I still think Dallas is going to take it.
So is that a 4-0?
It's not a 4-0, mate. I don't think it's going to be
3-1?
4-0. I think Boston have a definite... Don't stop telling me.
3-2?
To give you exact numbers. I can't give you exact numbers.
All right, Brent can't do it. Can you guys let us know in the chat and make some noise if you're enjoying the Overwatch here in the Blizzard Arena? We got Game 3 coming up after this.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Things heating up for the Fuel at the moment, leading 2-0 after a very dominant performance on Kings Road. So now at match point. And again, if they win this, if they can close out on Assault, they punch their ticket to the playoffs.
Yeah, it's super important to really shut down RCK right now, but it's tough to do so, you know? And it's hard to punish Fuel for running Diva-less comps. The only thing that we were talking about is the lack of, you know, absorption on Color Hex's grabs, but he's always behind grabs in AKM right now, so that's not even really a tool they have. But when you take a look at RCK in terms of his Sombra play compared to the rest of the Sombras in the league, I mean, this series has jumped him up to first place on enemies hacked per 10 and enemies EMP'd per 10. Hacks per EMP is in second, by the way. That means he's hitting the majority of the members here when he does toss out those EMPs. He's also pretty high up there, top 10 in fewest deaths, which a lot of Sombra players get caught and stuck dying when they're trying to make these plays happen. So this guy is making a case, you know, to be up there with the greats and perhaps even passing the greats like Eileen, Michelle, for example.
I mean, Ding as well.
Ding as well, yeah.
Some serious numbers. I mean, you expect, like, probably one of the only other Sombras who's truly really close to him right now.
Yeah.
With some of those stats. But obviously a lot more success for the Fuel compared to Ding.
I mean, we're still not really...
Dragons.
We're still not seeing Meko and Janu really playing Sombra, and you know, we may never see that. You know, they might just hold in and just play 3-3 until stage playoffs end. But RCK is really making a case for, and Dallas's coordination around him making a case for this team being at least top 3 in terms of Sombra coordination, if not the best.
Well, Boston going to be on the attack here as we move into Volskaya. Pressure is on. They talked about it there in the halftime show. Need to get a reverse sweep to keep their playoff hopes alive.
This is not a Sombra-friendly defense because you can't... Like, the one thing you're missing here is the Diva to knock players off of the high ground and control that high ground against Note. So that is certainly something that can be punished here.
Have to rely on Closer for all of that.
Yes.
Well, they work their way down here onto the low ground. Aim God picks off RCK. That is absolutely crucial. The linchpin for this composition basically taken away from them. The first hit going to be gained now. They try to wait for him to rejoin. How much can they surrender for free? 2 ticks now going over. Dallas Fuel, can they re-aggress? Can they get established here? It seems like the answer is probably going to be no, as AKM does get taken down, but OG finds a pin on the Fusions, but 2 more kills come through. Those are only able to answer one back onto Calyx, and Aim God is fragging out, taking down the enemy Lucio. That's going to be a very healthy time bank for the Boston Uprising, who are looking alive on Volskaya.
It's very critical to know that, to note that AimGod failed to get that kill into RCK. He was able to come in there and get 70% of an EMP, because that's probably what they're going to need to defend this next push. There is a world in which RCK gets picked early, the EMP doesn't go off, and Boston Uprising get the second cap here and an insane time bank.
Or at least play around it with the transcendence that AimGod has earned for himself.
Yep, both.
Unkoe's nearly there, though.
Both of those are possible.
Well, RCK already chunked out. Again, finally truly targeting the Sombra the way that Fuel has been targeting Fusions. EMP,
okay, here's the grab.
Ready to come in. The grab will lock him up. Transcendence is out from Unkoe. Closer, far away from that barrier. The lockdown there onto Fusions, but he's going to stay alive. Transcendence now out from Aim. Got to help keep him alive. EMP comes in. RCK instantly taken down, though. No one dead on the side of the Boston Uprising. 2 members gone, now 3 for the Fuel as they suffer heavily. This could be an insane push onto point B. Just shy of 6 minutes at the moment as the second tick rolls through. Sound barrier is out. As Closer just tries to get in onto the point. They're zoning him back. It's in the corner. Translocator comes out, and Zachary can't get there in time. The cap is through, and Boston Uprising look fantastic so far.
Great time bank there. I mean, honestly, that's the kind of snowball that works so well in your favor when you have that old lead. RCK had the EMP, but the trans was already out there.
5:44 on the clock. Let's see what Fuel can do on their attack. here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Boston Uprising, massive time bank established by them, 5 minutes and 44 seconds. You know what's also massive, Wolf? Is one finals
On ABC.
On ABC, March 24th. Again, mark your calendars, 12 p.m. Pacific starting time.
Esports, man, we did it. Overwatch.
You definitely don't want to miss it.
One of the biggest TV stations in the U.S. Pretty big deal. Don't miss it.
But here we go. Dallas Fuel need to have one crazy attack.
Okay, they're going to try to use this backdoor Sombra to pull the attention away, but it does not work. Note just knocks him away. He has to immediately translocate back.
Oh, okay. Well, Aim God finds Zachary. It's already good start for Boston Uprising with the defense.
This is where the lack of a diva, this map versus Kings Row and versus Ilios, it makes a big difference, right? Because right now, Boston Uprising is uncontested on the high ground. Closer can't alone displace them, and so they have to try to use RCK touching the point from behind to get them to drop down. And simply put, Boston Uprising is not taking that bait, so only 37% here of an EMP. That's kind of their win condition on A. It's going to take a little bit longer.
Unkoe, though, doing really good work. 90% already. Aim God only at 60. Unkoe fragging out of control at the moment, or at least getting that damage in to build up the ult. Now going to have that one online to give that extended fight to get the EMP ready to roll. OG's playing forward here. Onto the point. They're ticking up.
Note's so low.
Yeah, and Blase is going to be taken down in the front line. Sound barrier now going to be out, catching the rest of the members of the Boston Uprising, but the EMP comes through, taking away a lot of that shielding with the Transcendence. Still going to be coming out from Aim God to try to keep the dregs of the team alive, but Note still getting melted down steadily here, but actually finds OG. Tries to push up onto the high ground, will get popped out as AKM drags it back in for the Dallas Fuel. They get the cleanup kills, and they will cap A.
Despite the hold on the high ground there, it was Unkoe who did the majority of the damage to keep everyone low. Then Dallas Fuel could attack in there and forced out that early sound barrier that was then deleted by RCK. So they had that support ult advantage, that they still hold at the moment. And now when they come into this next point with no Transcendence for Aim God because he had to use it in that last fight, there's a huge opportunity here for Fuel to really snowball this and get a better time bank, or rather an even time bank, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, just highlighting the ultimates again. Fuel so much in their back pocket at the moment. Closer getting near that sound barrier. RCK here onto the low ground. Graviton Surge going to be coming through. Locks them up. 2 kills instantly over to the Fuels. They drop down onto the point. 1 tick already snagged. Not going to have a better timing than the Boston Uprising, but certainly looking like a competitive one if they can just zone them back. Bomb's going to be coming out from Note, looking for a pick. Not going to be able to find the pin there onto OG to get him taken down, but Zachary will get caught, but they fire back, get the baby to get the Reinhardt. Shadow now comes down. Kellick's going to be gone. RCK looking for a hack. Oh, just a second off. Almost got rid of Aim God. Transcendence does come through. Now there's a potential chance for them to stabilize as the rest of Boston Uprising comes back out. Sound barrier going to be committed from closer, and he finds a kill onto the enemy Zenyatta.
EMP almost ready.
Blase getting the stun up here. Fusion's taking a lot of damage. They really just want to drain the clock as much as humanly possible. No, into the back on the Tracer. Just harassing them endlessly. RCK taken down. They actually do manage to stabilize.
And this is huge. What a play by Note to track down the Sombra, because the EMP is the moment that Dallas Fuel just solidifies their attack gear. Gonna take a look at Note picking him off once again. Look at him, 93%. He's got the sound barrier tracked here, kills Unkoe, and then is able to get that follow-up kill on RCK as he's trying to translocate away. The sound barrier for Closer committed so that they could have the health bars long enough there when the EMP was ready. That's now missing as well as a tool because of this shutdown by Note, who's now swapped back over to the Diva.
Well, RCK playing up top. Drops in, manages to get the hit. Tries to get the hack onto Kellick's, unable to find it. Sound barrier is going to be coming through, catching all the remaining members of the Boston Uprising as they're locked up in that Graviton Surge, but Note finds one, Kellick's finds another, Shatter comes down, will be able to get Color Hex. They need a bit more than that, though. OG still dangerously low. Tries to push his way back, and Kellick's has just been hounding down Unkoe. And now OG's just staggering himself.
Yeah, and what a night and day difference from the supports here, from Kings Row to Volskaya, Aim God and Kellick's preventing RCK from getting those hacks off. The timing you mentioned on that Transcendence, razor thin right before he would have been hacked by RCK's just default right click. Kellick's gets the barrier up in time, and suddenly this is a 2 minutes, the superior time bank, and we're looking at potentially, you know, if Dallas Fuel messes up another big ult push, maybe they even hold this and bring us to a map 4 with a 2-1 scoreline.
Jumping down here onto the point, start ticking this back up. 88.5% is what they got before. Barrier hoping to save OG's life. Fire strike through as he tries to build up for that shatter. Fusion's about to have his online. Fuel just playing this one out very patiently, but their time bank already nearly half that of the Boston Uprisings. Still have to get across the finish line. That's going to be the grab coming through, locking them up. Transcendence set from Unkoe. They have the sound barrier to chain together should they need to. That's going to be a deny. AKM not going to be able to find the answering grab. Snoke takes it away with a D-Matrix. EMP comes in, however, hacks out the supports. Aim God trying to spam his way back up to another Transcendence, but I don't think he's going to be able to get one fast enough. Kellick's going to be dead on the point, and they will start moving their way up. 2.5 minutes on the clock at the moment. Seems like this will be the finish. So 2:30 exactly. I believe 5:44 for Boston.
That's right, and this is very much still winnable for Boston, but it is going to be an uphill battle here. The defense will have to be very good.
Well, let's see how they pull it off when we come back. Because we might have multiple helpings for you. Both teams able to finish Fall Sky with time banks. One significantly larger than the other, though, by over 2 minutes. 5:44. I was right.
You and I have been here before with Dallas Fuel versus Shanghai.
Yeah.
A very similar situation. The thing about the Fuel that is giving them so much trouble, especially on A, is that it's tough to really control high ground with this Sombra. For the Boston Uprising, if they get a decent defense here and even bring them down to overtime and repeat their performance on the attack, this map is locked up. Now, easier said than done. With Dallas Fuel can afford no mistakes on this push because of their very small time bank. RCK needs to have a speed run of the EMP build. He's even going to go for this hack early on the health pack here so that he has more safety, because if he dies even once, I mean, you're feeling like, oh man, this map is over, right? I mean, it is so critical that he does not get picked off.
Yeah, I mean, decent potential for that full hold here in the first round of overtime. RCK consistently just getting beamed down by Aim God.
He's got to go for another health pack hack that's going to really delay how much more charge he can build.
He's working his way into the back, running around this back platform, trying to get over on top of the supports who are sitting in the garage.
Ground.
Tries to get the hack there on a Fusion's unable to find it. Gets Blase instead. Still decent angle, pushing around behind, getting some damage in. Jumps back, Translocator keeping himself safe. 1.5 minutes remaining. Dallas Fuel starting to tick up, but instantly Boston Uprising go right back in onto the point. Stun up there. OG going to be taken down. Note finds the kill. Things looking really rough for Dallas right now.
They certainly do. That's the kill onto RCK, and now you're looking at 80 seconds, which was before, you know, about 160, so you're at half the time bank. And RCK is going to have an EMP, but both support ults should be ready. And the one time that Dallas Fuel, and probably the only time they'll ever have, control of the high ground, and they still couldn't convert that into a team fight win. They're going to have to use AKM's grab to bait out the Transcendence, and then hit the EMP. I think that's their best bet, but even still, double support ultimates makes this very difficult. RCK has been unable to get those right-click hacks onto the supports to deny. Kelix is hiding. He's up here.
Up top, just waiting to try to isolate somebody.
Yeah, or, you know, just get that EMP off. Or, sorry, get that sound barrier off.
Yeah, not seeing much of an opening to do that. EMP is going to be coming through. Sound barrier still out from Kelix, but Aim God going to be picked off and Note knocked out of the mech. So, solo shatter in Color Hex. Actually, no, sorry, didn't even see him on the sides. Catches 3. And that's going to be all the kills coming through. Dallas Fuel finally breaking through onto point A, but they're only going to have about 45 seconds to try to get over onto B.
Yeah, and if it's overtime, which is almost, I mean, it's almost impossible for this not to be overtime. There's a threat that they might get locked into a draw, which is not ideal. I mean, that might be their best case scenario, I should say. Kelix didn't hit his barrier in time because he was up so high. You have to actually hit the ground as Lucio with the sound barrier for it to activate, and that's why it came in a little bit too late despite his positioning being really good. I just wanted to mention that for a second. Not a throw by Kelix, not a timing mistake, but rather just his positioning cost him that.
Well, time dwindling, 15 seconds remaining, and the ult economy very much in favor of the Boston Uprising, vastly so. Grab going to be ready to roll. AKM has his to match. Grab comes through, locking up OG into the front. They get a hack in onto him. So a lot of damage taken away from the Zarya. Bomb not going to find anything for nobody. Makes it back into the mech. Now the Transcendence coming through to respond to the grab out from AKM. Coaster falling lower and lower. Will be picked off. The EMP comes in, but RCK instantly taken down by Aim God. He manages to hack 4 people, but Fusion's going to be the only one to fall. Now they collapse forward onto OG. They find the rest of the kills, and it seems like this is where the road ends for Dallas Fuel and Volskaya. Unable to get the double cap, unable to get a tick on B. And Boston Uprising with 5:44 on the clock are poised to take map 3.
That's right. It's not as good of a map for Sombra as the previous ones, and it certainly shows when Dallas Fuel is running purely Sombra outside that one round on Ilios. You need, you need to basically have that Sombra hit every EMP correctly. You can never get shut down. You can never be delayed. You can never be staggered. You need to be extremely efficient. And that is what they will try to do now on the defense, because if you're running D.Va here, sure, you're going to have the ability to control high ground, and that's the thing that they're missing on A. So in a similar time bank world, maybe they run D.Va here, even though RCK is clearly favoring the Sombra right now. But when you're talking about ult efficiency and shutting down multiple pushes, which they will have to do for 5 minutes and 44 seconds, when you need that level of efficiency, the only hero that could do that really is Sombra in this case. But all it takes is one slip up. All it takes is one right-click kill from Aim God, one stun from Blase. Maybe Color X catches you in the corner, and it's over. And Boston Uprising has a chance to take this series back, right? And bring us to a 5th map. So for Dallas Fuel, this is all about just the defense and safety.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you play too safe, you're going to get walked all over. RCK is going to have to carry this team right now. He's going to have to build fast EMPs, place them correctly, and never get caught. It's a lot to ask. But from one of our better Sombra players in this league, if it's anybody, you'd think he could be the one to do it.
Well, right now he's going to be harassing people into the back line as they go for the entry.
Yep, just
dislocates back over.
Building ult charge there. That's all he's looking for here.
Yep.
15 is what he gets.
Right side high ground approach for the Boston Uprising, working their way through, can drop down into the garage. That's exactly the play. Dallas Fuel have to come down off the high ground. They have to meet them. They cannot surrender ticks away. So they're looking for a full hold, honestly. Fusion's going to get booped out of place there. Zachary nearly taken down as well. But no one going to fall yet. RCK building up rapidly, 75% about for the EMP, but if he gets picked off, that could be it. That could be A. Over to Boston.
They need to get back on this point. They can't let this go. This is fast. This is
No
too
golf
fast.
For the moment. RCK getting closer and closer. He gets picked back up. EMP's now ready to roll. That's going to be the go button you'd expect.
Here it comes.
Translocator up over the top, slams it down. Catches pretty much everybody other than Aim God, but it doesn't matter because the support ultimates are not online yet.
Now, for those Dallas fans getting really excited right now, remember, he will have to do this 4 more times. And this time, when he's trying to harass, he has to be careful about the Uprising ultimates. But look at Color Hex, only at 56%. He was constantly hacked by RCK, which meant there were no bubbles for Fusion, so Dallas Fuel was able to maintain positional advantage because Fusions couldn't actually commit to any of these fights. But this is where it gets tough. You get stunned by Blase one time, it's over. You're not building another EMP. They're coming in, they're taking the point, they're taking the map. So he has to play greedy, but also if he oversteps a line one time, it's all over.
On a knife's edge right now, this Sombra play. Move him off the high ground. He'll jump out. Ult economy looking pretty good for Dallas Fuel, but Boston Uprising not that far behind. Rally's getting ready to come online. In onto the point. At the moment, trying to take that one up. It's going to be Transcendence out from Aim God. Pops that one. Now the grab comes through. Sound barrier has to be used by Calyx. Shatter's going to be looking good, though. Infusions gets dropped instantly. Now Aim God trying to hold on. But he will get burned down. RCK in all of this mess builds up another EMP, so he is ready for the next approach where there are no support ultimates to save Boston.
And that's basically what you want to do in this case is the Sombra player who has to defend through an amazing time bank, and they're so far so good. One fight with EMP, one fight without it. One fight with EMP, one fight without it. And then suddenly the Uprising are just never getting the ults they're looking for. Support ults being gone here, so there's no way to deny this EMP. As long as RCK hits the Q button in midair, then this is going to be, in theory, a one fight for Dallas, and they have support ultimates just in case as well. So this is another push very likely to get shut down. Let's see how many ults Boston commits, because if they commit few, they could trade up here.
Well, first it's going to be the grab. Locks him up, the EMP comes through. Transcendence is out from Unkoe, and Fusions gets dropped. Now Blase, nowhere to go, gets a Zarya bubble, but they get shut down again. Under 3 minutes now.
They do bait out the Transcends for this Grav, but I can't agree with the Graviton Surge usage here for Color Hex because this is the fight that you're very likely to lose no matter what. You know RCK has an EMP, you have no support ultimates, so the Grav isn't going to win you anything. It trades you, yes, the Transcendence, but you don't have a follow-up fight where you could abuse that. And it's another ult missing here now against a team that is being extremely efficient, Dallas Fuel, with their ultimates. So that's going to come back to bite them, I think. The lack of Color Hex Grav here.
Well, we'll have to see. RCK really stepping up the level of play from the first half of Volskaya. OT looking really good for him so far. Bomb into the back to try to open things up. OG's got the shield raised, keeps them all sheltered, but AKM gonna get picked off. Blase finds the kill. Fusion still under fire, gets stunned up. The healing coming through. Transcendence used by Aim God to top him back up. And coming out, looking for the kill. Shatter comes through, catches Unkoe in the back. They're trying to armor him up, trying to keep him safe. Set up here on a Zachary. They start ticking up on the point. This is looking really good for Boston. And they will be able to get A in the end.
And we go back to that Unkoe Transcendence. It wasn't there to live and heal through that fight, even though we had the closer sound barrier there. Boston Uprising used that self-destruct from Note to get positional advantage and then force a fight that they would win no matter what, knowing the Trans was gone. Still don't agree with the usage there from Color Hex, but they turned it into a good thing.
Well, Rally's out. They're looking for that snowball. Grabs online. They throw it down. Zachary trying to get focused here. Boston unable to kill him off, but Note gets rid of AKM's grab. Absolutely huge. EMP comes out. Aim God's going to be gone, and Dallas Fuel looking like they can go ahead and clean up the fight. Unkoe going to be the only casualty.
Insanely close map right now. Anything could happen here. It's going to be a lot easier to utilize the Sombra on B than it was on A, and they've already eliminated a majority of that time bank. I think a crucial thing here is Unkoe being only at 30% still, right? That ultimate missing is the missing link that could give Boston the win in the longer fight with double support ultimates. They will just out-heal and outlive the damage. EMP's not going to be ready either. This should be the fight Boston Uprising tries to win the map with, not the next one. It has to be when they have this tiny window of ult advantage if they want to bring themselves maybe to that 5th game.
Well, let's see. Left side approach. No, just straight up the center, actually. Cut around, force the Dallas Fuel to come to them. Sound barrier is going to be out from Calyx. Zachary going to be taken down now. OG gone. No chance to use the Shatter. AKM gone. The bomb finds RCK, and it's looking really good for Boston Uprising. They will be able to close this out, take a map, and start that ball rolling for the reverse sweep.
You got to know your advantages. You got to know those windows of time. You know Unkoe doesn't have trance. You know there's no EMP for RCK. Drop that sound barrier, hard engage, trade up in ultimates, and win the map.
Momentum back in the favor of the Boston Uprising. Let's see if they can roll with this and force us to a map 5 when we come back from the break.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Boston Uprising able to get the victory there on Volskaya, putting a win on the board and denying Dallas Fuel playoffs for just a little bit longer. They're still at match point. If they can close out Dorado, they can go ahead and punch their ticket.
This also is a great thing for Toronto. They will now be guaranteed third place.
True.
They cannot be passed by Dallas Fuel any longer. It was a 4-0 they needed in order to lock that in. So Toronto going to be feeling pretty good about this one. So we head into our final map here, Dorado. Notice that in terms of escort, it is Fuel's best map type, 2-0 on the map. Think back to the C8.5 that we had there with Shanghai Dragons, perhaps some more famous Dorado win. But it is their best map, so they're looking to close this one out on it.
Yeah, I mean, in their favor, but Uprising looking really good right now in the back of Volskaya, not really putting up with RCK's Sombra nonsense so much. Shutting him down, looked really good on that final defense, but just given the time bank, it was just so massive. Boston were able to grind through it and persevere. So now we'll be kicking things off with the initial attack. Dallas Fuel is going to be sticking to the 3-3 for this defense. Uprising matching. Let's see how they fare. Again, playoff on the line for both of these squads. Dallas would love to just close it out right now and not have to go back to control.
Taking a look at compositions here again, it's RCK on this Sombra. Very powerful on A around the fountain and the chokes there. We saw Florida actually showcase BQB's Sombra on this map as well to great effect. It's a very strong map for Sombra. So something that Boston Uprising has been struggling with is RCK throughout this series, and it's going to be something they have to deal with a little bit longer.
Well, pushing their way forward. So far, pretty free game distance, but right here in the underpass, this choke, this is where things could start getting a little bit dicey for them. RCK not farming up that quickly, but hasn't really gotten himself into a position to do so yet. OG going to be stunned up, but safe in the front lines for now. Still takes a lot of damage and has to pull back, so the cart actually making it out of the choke point for now.
Now this is a really nice spot for Note to maximize damage. The Fuel are going to have to back off. The win condition here on the defense for A is to build an EMP before the cart reaches this point. They failed to do so, and now you can see there's just more damage output, more sustainability with the Diva.
I mean, the tank line's just so dangerously low right now. OG going to be stunned up. Unkoe has to use a Transcendence EMP thrown in. Should be able to turn things around. Yep, cleanup kills will be there.
Well, I spoke too soon. I guess they were 1.68 away from getting it in before the EMP was ready, but that's huge now, because this changes everything, right? They reached the win condition I was describing, where now you're able to build your own ultimates up outside of the EMP, delay the push, because it's so far for the respawns to come through, because you're actually at the furthest point away from spawn on A. So RCK can harass from so far away on the rest of the squad, buy so much time. This is a absolutely ideal situation for Dallas now.
Certainly winnable, but still have to play very well. Try to overcome the ultimates that are available for the Boston Uprising. Shadows coming out from OG. Lock up here with the Graviton Surge. Transcendence out now, stacking in with that sound barrier. RCK going to be taken down. They managed to answer back on a Calyx. Bomb out, manages to find closer. Some exchange on the Lucios. Things still looking good for the Boston Uprising as the Fuel try to stabilize, but OG, he's just so darn low. They chase him down. They take him out, and that's going to be A capped by Boston. 4+ minutes on the clock right now.
I think Fuel is still fairly happy with how much time they were able to buy there. They get a second EMP, it's a different story. It was a close call, right? Because this could be even worse had they not been able to get that first EMP off, which they barely did. So it's kind of like you're wiping your sweat from your brow right now as Dallas Fuel, but you know that you control the high ground here still. You have another EMP ready, and because of the way that this map works and how high ground is going to give them an advantage here, there should be good opportunities for RCK to build multiple EMPs in an ideal world if he doesn't get picked and caught. Here's the second one ready now.
Yeah, speaking of high ground, Boston Uprising puts their way up. Another 6-man EMP coming in, and that will be the kills found by Dallas Fuel. Unkoe traded back, but outside of that, things going rather well for them on the back of the EMP. Now have control of the cart.
Note staggered here a little bit. Pretty.
Well, he manages to build up enough to get back into the mech, so
yeah,
not too bad.
Also, RCK just trying to grab some more ult charge there, gets 30 of it. So Boston Uprising, as you can see, they're significantly down on ults. Dallas Fuel has the big ones here, the Graviton Surge. They have high ground. So it's going to take a long time for Boston to trade up.
Well, Grab's going to be coming out to start things off. Hack coming in. Unable to find it, but Color Hack's still going to be taken down. Transcendence from Aim God too late. Trying to keep their Zarya in the fight, so this could be a bit of an overcommitment unless they can turn things around.
Doesn't seem likely.
Yeah, the re-aggression's coming through from Dallas. Just maintaining control of the cart. They have to go back to the marketplace. This is really wishy-washy at the moment for Boston.
That's 20 more percent, 30 more percent of RCK's next EMP. And the trance is the counter to that. So this is actually a really big momentum shift into Dallas's favor.
Rally's going to be out. Shatter coming down. Catches 2. And that's going to be closer. Melted. OG, however, answers back. The Shatter is absolutely huge, but no one can get on top of them to get the kills.
Fusions with
Instead, it's
another.
just going to be the wipe.
Fusions with another call, knowing that they were down on ults. Hail Mary play, go in, toss the Shatter, and he gets that Shatter in such a good spot. They're able to take it. EMP irrelevant, support ultimate's irrelevant. Everybody's stunned. Huge call here by Fusions, and they've kind of broken the rules here of ult economy with this Shatter. RCK is just waiting for the money EMP right now. Doesn't know the supports are not ready with ult, so he's actually trying to find them. Doesn't matter either way. They're not ready yet.
Riding around this window shutter at the moment. Aim God should be getting spotted out here. They throw it down. Aim God manages to keep himself safe, but doesn't have a Transcendence to drop down with. So Fusions does get taken out. So it's still going to be a one fight on the back of that for the Fuel.
Would have been huge if, you know, in RCK's mind, he's thinking, Aim God didn't have Transcendence, I guess, because he didn't use it there. And then we could have used the grab follow-up after he used the trance. That's like the way that you could be like the most efficient, right? Where you kind of stack these things together. But still, the grab is there. They can toss that in. It's a big tool here to get the hold here on B. Would have been nice, though, if Aim God used it. That's what Dallas Fuel wanted, to get the double advantage here. Just going to be half of one, though.
Well, ult economy in the favor of the Boston Uprising. With 3 ready to roll. OG trying to get that Shatter online. Down below a minute now. It's been a decent hold for the Dallas Fuel. That's going to be a Transcendence out from Aim God just to escort them forward. Now the grab comes in from AKM. Doesn't have much energy. Sound barrier chained in as Boston tries to stay alive. Bomb thrown in deep from Note. Looks for a pick. Unable to find it. The Aim God gets rid of closer. So still good trade back here. RCK getting close to the EMP, however, at 92%. Could be the turning point as we fight right in front of B. Less than 4 meters left to go. RCK going to be taken down. Aim God finds the opening pick. Zachary desperately trying to pop the rally to keep themselves in the fight, but Color Hex manages to burn down the enemy Brigida. That will be point B gained.
Such a huge play by Aim God there. It's funny because in these situations, right, the reverse of what I was just describing happened. Aim God trances to not only get onto the point, but also to deal with that Graviton Surge. Then he doesn't have it for when RCK comes back. Instead of using a trance to shut down an EMP, he kills RCK. And that's the big play that gets them to B and saves their chances of maybe a full completion here on Dorado.
Drop down into the back. Really aggressive positioning here for the Dallas Fuel. As AKM nearly has another grab ready to go. EMP comes in, catches all 6 of them again. How many times can this man do this in one series? Leading the stats indeed right now for Sombras in the league. RCK absolutely on fire as Note.
The next level
will get staggered. Yeah. Don't even break the mech yet. And goodbye.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, Diva. That's how every Diva player feels. That voice line right there.
Yeah, certainly. We've all said it. Well, I have this feeling that this next fight will really determine whether Boston has. It's not even really a feeling. It's kind of factual here. This next fight will determine whether Boston has a shot at completion, because it's going to be how much charge can RCK get, and the answer is none.
Yeah, Grab going to be locking him up. Aim God goes forward. Transcendence is out. Shatter coming in from OG, but gets blocked out by the shield from Fusions. Now answering Grab through, looking for the pop. Doesn't find anybody with the explosion. No goes back into the back with a Shatter. Catches
it's a big one.
Oh, Fusions knocks him down. And out of the park.
He is saving this series right now with Aim God against the Fuel. EMP almost ready. It's going to be on Kelix. Remember, hit or miss it's been so far on the barrier here. That is everything right now. That's the big matchup here. He needs to hit that, and it needs to be after the EMP, not before.
Well, OT now going to be coming through. Kelix going to be dropping the beat.
It's early.
Instantly, it is early, but Unkoe's going to be taken down. EMP now coming through. Catches pretty much everybody again, only missing out on the color hex. Aim God going to be taken down, but they're still grinding back. They're still finding kills. Can anyone tag the cart? The answer is going to be no, because they clean them up. The team wipe at the end. And they will glide through in overtime. Hopes still alive for a map 5 for the Boston Uprising.
I love Fusion's shot calling when it comes to dealing with EMPs. We saw it in their previous series against BQB on this very map. Oftentimes for what they're doing here in these moments where, you know, it's a risk. Do we use the barrier? Do we get caught? And Fusion is calling, I want you to use the barrier first. It's a risk because if the EMP is used right afterwards, the barrier gets deleted. And that's what EMP does to Lucio shields. But instead of that, they force a pick. They use the sound barrier to get their entire 6-man squad into a place they realistically should not be, which is basically in the spawn of the fuel. So they use the barrier in an unexpected way that the fuel isn't really thinking about. They're thinking, can I catch the Lucio with this EMP? Let's have the perfect fight around the EMP. Fusion shatters, that illusion, shatters that plan, and comes through, gets the barrier with the shot calling there, and then they're able to get that opening kill, and the whole fight's wide open from there. EMP doesn't mean anything if you don't have the follow-up damage. So, he's turning what we know and what we think about Lucio play on its head here with this call. You always think of the barrier as the response to the EMP instead of the barrier to be used to kill someone before the EMP is even ready. And it's not the first time we've seen the Uprising make a call like this, referencing again the match last week against Florida. Several times on both Horizon and Dorado we saw this. It's refreshing to see a different take on Lucio in this situation.
Well, if you'll need to have a steamrolly approach here to this attack, trying to get through there with as much time in the bank as humanly possible. Force out that OT, get that extra bump up for the minute that Boston Uprising will gain. We'll see what they're able to achieve. Boston, very non-committal approach to the defense so far. Color Hex just lobbing out some shots, but doesn't build up too much. Everyone playing back into the marketplace.
And Somer just harassing from the fountain. Caught by Imgod again.
Yeah, he's been shutting him down on the regular. Finds another pickoff, still just going to be spamming away.
It's, in this meta, now that everyone's more comfortable with Sombra, sometimes it's the Sombras who are the hunted against the Zenyatas.
Now, just given the position right now, this is really rough for Fuel. Unkoe going to get surrounded. They take him down. Still swinging away. OG trying to finish off Fusions, but he's just got too much support. Will be taken out, and this is going to be really extended staggers.
And the reason why you see teams like Boston chase like this is not only for the staggers you just mentioned, but if you're able to trap everyone in that pit down there and force that fight your way, look at the difference in Zarya charge, for example. You're doing so much damage, you're building so many ultimates in this moment. So 2 big wins for Uprising, not only the time buy, but the ult build.
Shots being lobbed through. AKM just trying to get back up and match pace with Color Hex. Like you said, he's just so very far behind, doubled at the moment. Transcendence online for Aim God. Unkoe nearly there. But also a major difference in Lucio's. 20+% for Kelix.
Yeah.
Boston Uprising are entrenched at the moment here. Around the fountain, just getting ready for the fight. Grab online. Low energy for Color Hex.
That's why he's waiting. There's no D.Va, so...
Okay, throws it down right here in front of the card. Locks him up. Transcendence is out from Unkoe. EMP now coming through, but Aim God, he's got the Transcendence ready to roll, and Kelix as well does not get caught. Shatter's looking pretty good, but now the sound barrier will come through, chaining them together pretty perfectly on the side of Boston. Closer.
The grab,
uses
though.
His own.
AKM's grab is scary.
Nearly has it. Shatter out from Fusions, locks up AKM. He's going lower and lower, but manages to stay alive. Now has the grab. Throws it down, but it's going to be a whip. He throws it onto the card. Needed to go a little bit further. Bomb out. Not going to find anyone. No going to make it back into the mech, but AKM taken down. Dallas Fuel looking really rough at the moment on this attack. 1.5 minutes remaining. Remember, they have to finish the map.
I know, and this is the thing, man. Like, we have to start to wonder, is Dallas Fuel choking a little bit here because they looked so dominant at the beginning. This is a good map for Sombra. They had the setup there to get the grab after AimGod used his Transcendence. Everything was set. The pieces were placed, but AKM, man, he knocked the board over. He missed the grab, and that was one of their best chances to pull this through. Now only 70 seconds left. No follow-up for this EMP.
Oh, they stun him! Can they kill him off? No, they can't. They can't finish him off. He actually goes right back up into the air. Drops back down. Gets a 6-man EMP! RCK still going to get punished. And Aim God, he is fragging out of control. Picks up a double. Finishes off closer. Now they're looking for more. Unkoe pops the Transcendence, trying to keep him alive. Aim God going to be matching. Graviton surges out from Color Hex. They lock him up. They don't have the support ultimates to try to stay alive. Everybody else going to be taken down. 45 seconds remaining. Realistically, one more attempt.
And the thing is, too, like, the grab that AKM is going to have is really their only tool, because in that last fight, the EMP was committed. In fact, yeah, RCK is going to switch over to D.Va, because controlling high ground here is more important, and they don't have time to build an EMP. It builds in about 70 seconds, and they're looking at 25 right now. And look at the energy difference here. It's massive. in favor of Color Hex. They want to bring us to this game 5.
But
They're so
again,
close.
Nearly has the grab online, 10% more. Calyx, however, manages to make it to that sound barrier. Could be the turning point in the fight.
Rally.
Bombs out from Note. Looking for a pick in the back. Not going to be able to get anything. Shatter is coming down from both of the Reinhardts. Lock up here with the grab. Big boop over to the side, but no one going down from the side of Boston. Now Aim God popping the Transcendence, trying to keep them all topped up. Note going low. Aim God makes his way over there, and OG's going to be taken down to the front lines. Unkoe nearly with the Transcendence. Now it's going to be the sound barrier coming through. Grab out, they lock up RCK on the cart, they pop him out of the mech and melt him down. Unkoe now going to be popping that Transcendence, just desperately trying to keep the rest of the squad alive as they wait for OG to rejoin, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it. Closer's going to be eliminated. Unkoe under fire, 100 energy. Color Hex is coming for you, takes him down, and ladies and gentlemen, we are going to game 5.
Absolutely upgraded play from Aim God. Aim God, Transcendence God, Heal God. This guy is shutting down RCK left and right. He's hitting the trans button in these fights, last possible second, healing them up. He carried them to victory.
Fantastically done. One final round to close it out. Let's see who can come out on top.
Let's go. Play point. Do not leave point now.
Did you kill him in the color?
Nice. Keep it up.
I put a bomb on their
Guys,
relocator and he
guys, listen.
I said this could be a close series, but game 5 is upon us. So very close. Boston Uprising trying to engineer this reverse sweep. So very close. They're right on the cusp of it.
Yeah, this is a very, very close series. I feel like the, RCK dominance we saw early, he's a great Sombra player. We highlighted how he's one of the best in the league, but at the same time, he's been playing purely Sombra in this series, and we're seeing small adjustments, especially from Aim God, in terms of figuring out what his tricks are in order to get into position to harass the backline, also in order to set up these EMPs. He's able to predict that and kill him with right clicks or left clicks oftentimes. And it's Note who's also helping to track him down. Suddenly, this Sombra doesn't seem infallible. I mean, look, we saw some incredible stuff, right? I mean, the near-death translocate onto the roof into EMP. You can't beat the acrobat that is RCK, yeah. But at the same time, Aim God is shutting him down when it matters most. We are seeing those transcendences come out. They're held oftentimes, and the effect feels minimized. And remember, when we were on Control previously on Ilios, that's when they had the closest maps of Sombra. It was King's Row, where they were able to really dominate with Sombra. Yep. Things looked a little bit shaky on Volskaya. Dorado, obviously, we just watched it. So if you're a Dallas fan, it's what feels like a one series and a ticket to playoffs, and what even looked like third place locked in. Now you're on the edge of your seat.
It's slipping through your fingers pretty quickly. We should clarify, Dallas not necessarily out of playoffs.
That's right.
If they lose here, if they win, they are in. But it goes out of their hands, and they have to rely on other teams' performances for them to clinch a playoff spot. So they would love to go ahead and close things out now. Same for Boston. Yep. A win here doesn't necessarily guarantee them.
Nope. Does guarantee Soul and Shock, though.
So, yeah, helps them out a lot. So they're going to be really cheering for Boston Uprising and watching from home, I'm sure. But here we go. It's going to be meeting on the high ground at the moment. Swinging away. OG taking a bit of damage here in the front. Blase trying to get that shield bash in, but misses it. Still a lot of damage going over the way of the Dallas Fuel, so they have to peel back away from the fight first. Does give them an inside track in onto the point, however.
RCK using the Diva here to help control high ground. This is such an important first cap.
Cap coming through closer, nearly picked off. That could have just been it, but now OG taken down. Fusions pushes forward, hounds him down with a help of Color Hex. They find the first 3 kills. And that'll be the flip coming in. Only 9% snagged by Dallas Fuel.
When you do a lot of damage, as Fuel did, but you're unable to secure those kills, you often build Zarya energy on the other side. And Color Hex is able to utilize that Zarya energy to do more damage in the fight. 30% up, Grav advantage right now, 700 damage more he did in that last fight. He's going to get Boston to flip. High ground control taken away from RCK, but they still were able to win that fight using that Zarya energy. Speaking of which...
Charging forward, Grav going to be ready, holds it. Showing some restraint.
Yeah, RCK is on the Diva this time. Don't want to just toss those in carelessly.
Well, wrap around, going back into main. Trying to approach from the backside of the point at the moment. Unkoe going to be taken down. Aim God finds another pick. That should just be the fight. Aim God doubling down. Gets himself another one. And that is just going to be the Fuel wiped off the face of the map.
Yeah. This is a really rough spot to be in. In terms of how the Fuel approach this, it's tough because you have to go out of these choke points, right? And that's one of the problems of Village and why we don't see Winston almost ever on this map, because you don't really have a lot of space to work with. That's why you always see the Reinhardt in this 3-3 versus 3-3. You see the ults they're holding here. It's tough because breaking through this choke requires a support ult. Okay, they sneak around to the right side undetected.
Keep Unkoe alive. Nearly 5 ultimates ready to go to match side of the Boston Uprising. Just going to be those rallies missing. RCK has to use the self-destruct. The Grab comes down to lock him up. Now looking for the follow-up. Shatter comes in, locks up Fusions. Aim God's there with the Transcendence Tower to keep him alive. Blase going to be taken down. RCK melted out of that mech. Maybe Diva's still going to be alive, but Fusions finds the hit on a Zachary. And things continue to go Boston's way. 90% now coming in. Dallas Fuel. Can they get a flip? It's looking like the answer is no.
I mean, RCK being demeched, he gets to the remech here, but he's demeched again. He's not going to be able to really tag this point. I think that's just basically
it.
Yep.
109. What a way to kick off Nepal Village. Going the way of Boston. They look invigorated.
Let's see which we head to next, though, because if we go to Shrine, that is where Sombra is going to have the best time, right? And that's where RCK could flip back over. If we go to Sanctum, on the other hand, which, spoiler alert, we are going to Sanctum, I just checked.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be back to the Diva. Sanctum is so hard for Sombra because the area you have to work with and run around with, it's so easy to get hit by Diva spam that are trying to find you. You know, Unkoe, or rather not Unkoe in this case, Aim God, just left-clicking. You're always going to get hit by something stray, and it get revealed, it gets stunned, or killed very quickly. So this is not the Sombra-friendly map. They'd have to play on it anyways. But, you know, this is going to be the map where you think Uprising has the advantage, given RCK's Diva performance has not been up to notes.
Oh, Winston v. Winston. Diva's there to back him up. As they try to melt RCK out of the mech here. Taking him down below half HP. Fusion's nearly falling off the map, but restabilizes, and they manage to pop RCK in the end. So another solid start for the Boston Uprising. Still going aggressive, trying to build up for that Primal Rage. So 20% ahead of OG at the moment.
Yeah, the Winston that leaps second always has the advantage. And that's what we saw there.
Fusion's going to get booped back, stunned up as he joins in onto the point. RCK going back in for a bit of vengeance. Takes him down. The first cap actually going to be going the way of Dallas Fuel, contrary to how things were looking there at the beginning.
And things could have gotten crazy if Fusions was actually able to get that Primal. There would be like almost no way Fuel contest. That's a huge play by Zachary. Gets the instant stun there as soon as Fusions leaps across. You had great reaction time on that. And now the Primal for OG is going to be so difficult to deal with. They can't attack this point yet until Note Remix, which is, you know, he's getting very close to that. But this is all free time for Dallas Fuel. And it's also going to be the grab completed for AKM. So this is rough for the Uprising. Grab comes out.
Coming through. Fusion's going to be locked up here on the corner. Instant 2 kills coming in for the Dallas Fuel.
And this is a moment where AKM knows the grab is going to be efficient, it's going to gain value because that Note is demacked. It was during the remack animation that he tossed it in. He was guaranteed to lock them up, so that's an ult-efficient way to buy a lot more time. Does not get the demack on the Note this time. Had he done that, it would be even more time, and that's what he was going for. But either way, this is still amazing for the Fuel.
Pushing their way in. A lot of ultimates here for the Dallas Fuel. Only 5 online. Same could be said, however, for the Boston Uprising. Actually 6, as the rally will be starting things off. Blase leading the charge. Color Hex trying to get some charge here. AKM going to be pinned into the wall and taken down. Unkoe with the Transcendence. It's not enough to keep him alive. And the self-destruct from Note manages to find Zachary. So looking for the flip. Seems very likely for the Boston Uprising. Dallas Fuel trying to buy as much time as they possibly can, but RCK will get popped out and sent down into the pit.
Goodbye. Well, that's going to be 80% bought, though. And it was 3 ultimates traded for 1. The Transcendence coming out from Unkoe. So Dallas Fuel knew that the Transcendence would buy them a little bit more percent. Maybe they could flip with it, but it was more just okay, let's just hold on to these ults. We're going to respawn. We're going to come in with this advantage. We're going to flip it one more time, and we're going to round 3. Easier said than done with double support ults on the side of the Uprising. AKM needs to build the Graviton Surge. That's really what they're looking for here. If they can bait out the support ultimates first, be ideal.
Pushing their way through here onto the point. AKM building up, getting ready for that next one. Bomb going to be thrown into the back, looking for a pick-off. AKM, however, going to be taken down. Fusion to the Primal Rage. Likely sending him into the pit. Zachary going to be taken down. Fusions finds a double. Closer, only able to get Blase. Things not looking very good for Dallas.
Yeah, meanwhile, OGE, Primal Rage wasted. And at the other side of things, AimGod is just shooting away the dreams of the Fuel, building another Transcendence. And Fusion's very actively shout calling, knowing that the timing here for Color Hex to get his grab versus Unkoe's Transcendence based on that previous fight, they have that advantage. That is one way they can really close this map out.
Fusion's waiting for them right here in the front, trying to lead them to victory, but Unkoe finds the first pick off as Blase gets taken down. Fusion's going lower and lower. The Transcendence now going to be coming out from AimGod, trying to keep them alive. Grab out from AKM to lock them up. We'll boop into the pit. AimGod going for a dip. McKellick's found AKM. The 1-for-1 exchange so far. No going to be using the self-destruct.
Dallas needs more.
Not going to be able to find anything. Dallas going for grinding back away. It seems like they will be able to come out on top. Slight little delay from Kellick's up at the top of the point, but they will be able to finish him off as the flip comes in. 90% to 80. Dallas with a lead, and the ultimate's very much in their favor.
They're just going to try to stop him from touching the point. If they can lock Note up, if they can grab here, they can prevent them from touching the point. It's easier said than done, as Note is going to get over here to the right side. Can't grab that guy if he's got his defense matrix up.
I mean, still has to build it here, but maybe the Primal Rage even to just knock him away. AimGod going to get picked off, though. Good start now. Blase gone. Fusion's trying to get a back cap desperately as Dallas is at 99%. And he's going lower and lower. Primal Rage now going to be invested as they try to buy some more time for the rest of the squad to come together. Sound barriers in, catches a few. AimGod going to be swapping over onto the Soldier 76. Kellick's nearly going into the pit, getting hounded down.
Soldier 76.
Angry Winston. Soldier 76 coming in. Blase swapping over onto that Wrecking Ball. Bombs out from RCK. Looking for a pick. Doesn't find anything, but makes it back into the mech safely. Also not pricing. Their health HP bars in shambles. Kellick's going to get finished off here on the point. Fusions has to jump back down, but he does not stand a chance. OT plummets. We've already made it to map 5. Let's go ahead and go to the third round of Nepal Shrine. Gonna settle it all. Dallas Fuel. Can they make their way into the playoffs right here with one final round of control?
And the question is,
play upset.
And the question is, will we see the Sombra? Because this is the round of the 3 where you're going to have the easiest time getting value. Open space is tough to track. The control point is still narrow, though, so you're always going to be able to hit big EMPs on the point itself. But Dallas Fuel make the call to say no. Going to put RCK once again on the default, as I say that. Okay. This is the right move, I feel like. This is where you play to your comfort. This is the round where you're going to get the most value. Can AimGod shut him again? That's the question. This is everything right now. A win here is playoffs for Dallas.
Still got to be really careful about that pillar in the center of the point. Really have to be tracking the supports on the side of Boston to try to catch them out. Already, though, just going to be squaring up straight here onto the point. OG trying to push his way forward. A lot of damage going through into the Dallas members, as you can see. AKM is waiting to get top back up.
They're split. Dallas is right now. This is looking unlikely they could take. It's taking too much damage while they were cut in half.
Anytime somebody comes out onto the point, AimGod is beaming down on them. chunking them out. First cap going to be rolling through. Boston gain control. Ozzy going to be hacked, but Dallas still going lower and lower, and OG going to be taken down. Color Hex finds the kill. Now Unkoe. Time to just reset, get back in as soon as you possibly can.
Yeah, I think this is okay for the Fuel because they earned a lot of ult charge here. Sure, AKM's going to lose his energy, but he's going to match the grab now. So the EMP will force the Transcendence to be used. Then you can grab, and there's no answer, right? So Calyx is once again going to be in the limelight here. He's going to actually have to hit that follow-up sound barrier. I know we've been talking about this, sounds like a broken record, but when it's Sombra almost every game for the Fuel, these are the things they're looking for. They are their combos. Low energy is a problem, but the EMP is the first step here for Dallas. They built that, and they can get an early flip here if executed correctly.
RCK
both supports
waiting, throws that one down, catches Aim God and Calyx, as you say.
Man.
Fusion's going to be taking down Color X, killing himself off. The fight looking good for Dallas. Just going to be the EMP investment as they get the flip. Shy of 50% going to be gained here for the Boston Uprising.
Now, Dallas Fuel didn't use anything else there, but the Boston Uprising, they actually just let this happen. This was not a mistake on the support's positioning. It looks like they wanted to just, rather than risk trying to counter that, actually just rather than do so, would allow them to get the point and then just come back in with all of their ultimates. But the Fuel didn't use anything but the EMP. Still advantage to the Uprising on this attack, but I respect how confidently they just gave it over.
Rally's going to be out from both sides. There's a meet back here onto the point. Color Hex going to be slamming down that Graviton Surge. And Closer going to be taken out. Note finding that first kill, so looking good for Boston to maintain control now. Aim God gets RCK, denying away even more EMP charge in the delayed fight. Fusion still going to be throwing down the Shatter. That locks him up. That's going to be cleaned up. Maybe a bit of an overcommitment here for the Boston Uprising, but looking good for now.
That's not the Graviton AKM wanted. That is not the Graviton he wanted. That is a huge resource gone now. And the EMP is nowhere near completion, 35% needed. They cannot just come in here and retake this. Sure, there is no Transcendence for Aim God, and I think that's the idea here, but Calyx has Sound Barrier. Dallas Fuel are in serious trouble, and I don't think using that Graviton there was ever going to flip the fight, and I don't think it was ever going to trade them up.
Sound Barrier coming through, matched by Calyx. Both sides all shielded up as they try to make their way over onto the point. RCK building up, nearly has the EMP. Shatter out from OG, not going to find much for Fusion, still going to be taken out, but RCK dead before he can use it. The kills just come in. Boston Uprising, they wipe them. AKM going to be taken down. They're at 83%. Somebody's going to tag this.
One shot is all they're going to get. This is it. OG goes to the Hammond. They know that this Wrecking Ball play is one of the more sustained heroes they can fight as a tank. He's going to have that adaptive shield. They are just going to have to slam onto the point here and use this EMP. It's going to be tough. It's possible.
Yeah, they force it out. EMP comes in, but RCK instantly killed off, and he caught neither support, so Aim God still going to be building up, getting that Transcendence ready to roll now. OG taken out.
It's not going to happen.
Transcendence is out. Unkoe trying desperately to buy some time. Zachary the Rally just trying to armor himself up, but he himself will be taken down. The Fire Strike coming through. Boston Uprising looking for the reverse sweep, going the distance. The Dallas Fuel, just nothing that they can do. OG trying to make it back in. They get a tag from RCK on the back of the point with the Tracer, but he just has a sliver of HP, and he will be finished off. The Boston Uprising have done it. And in the end, hugs all around to the back. The shot calling from Fusion.
Absolutely brilliant shot calling again. The engage is on the Sombra, the improvement, the adaptation from Aim God in a 5-map series. Dallas Fuel lived and died by the Sombra, but it is the Sombra who dies in the end, loses them the series. AKM misses the grab, and in these tense moments, it's Fusions who keeps the roster together. Very few teams could say they've been able to get a reverse sweep like this one, but Boston Uprising, they made it happen. What a series.
A genuinely great game from both of these squads, but Boston Uprising come out on top again. Do not doubt this squad. Do not doubt this organization. For 2 seasons now, they have picked up talent that no one had any expectations for.
No one ever sees them coming.
They still haven't clinched their way into the playoffs, but they look like they deserve to be there. But guys,